I'm trying to join, but I can't hear nothing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I got everything but sound.
Jean, you're good. Just mute.
Oh,
Just
okay.
mute and put yourself on camera. Or you could leave the camera on.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kathleen. We were muted. So, so thank you, everyone, for being here. Oh, we hope that we were able to hear. We just want to greet everyone. Thank you for being with us here today. We give thanks for the ancestors who have led us here towards the path of liberation as we celebrate the Haitian Independence Day 1804. Woo! And so, yay! So we just really want to also thank the ancestors wherever we may be on settled land. We want to thank them also. And in here, wherever you may be, please thank the ancestors of the land. And here in New York City, we honor the Lenape people. And now we really want to give thanks to these ancestors who paved the way as agitators, rebels, rabble rousers, troublemakers, revolutionaries, all in the name of liberation. So we're going to, we're going to ask people to throw out some names, throw out the names of those who led us to this beautiful being able to be where we are today, inside of giving thanks for all that they gave of themselves, their body, not their minds, their body, their spirits, for us to be here today to give thanks to them. So we're going to start off, Vincent Oge, and we apologize, we may be saying names incorrectly. Duty Bookman,
the SEAL team,
Jean-Jacques Zezali,
Mackendale,
Desaline,
Tontoya,
Marie-Jeanne,
Kathleen,
and many more.
Bookman.
The C is Fatiman. That yes, the D Bazil, who someone said that. Romaine Riviere, Alexandre Petillon,
Macandal,
Henry Christopher, Jean-Baptiste Sansou,
Marie-Jeanne.
Oh, we can't forget about Antoya. She was the fearless warrior.
Yes, Santoya. She taught Desaline, yeah.
Yes.
Catherine Flon.
Marie-Claire Heureuse, Félicité Bonheur.
And we said Mackendale, the amazing warrior who understands the plants, who actually use the poison from the plants. He understands plants.
Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
And so we give thanks to each and every one, each and every ancestors that we have named, and those that we have not named, and those who have constantly provided us, those we have named from the past, and our elders as well, who are here, who continue to lead us where we are today. So we're here today with Kafe Lourveture owners Joanne and Anthony, and we're also here amongst all of you, and we are so thankful for all of you who are here with us to talk about the importance of Soup Joumou, right? As the cuisine that commemorates the Haitian Revolution, as the first successful rebellion in the Americas, right? That we honor. In honoring that we as all Black people, it is important for us to honor, that there was this constant yearning, this constant fighting, amongst all of us, amongst everyone, in the Caribbean, that in the Americas, that there was this desire for us as Black people for freedom, and that here was the first successful revolution to actually have that take place. And so we honor that, and we honor all of those, all of the history that has provided the ability for us to be here right now, the spirit of the rebellion, and as we said, the agitators and rabble rousers. And so So yeah, we're going to give an opportunity for Joanne and Anthony to talk about, like, how did you start? How did Kafe Lourveture start? What was the inception? What was the beginning essence of, like, why did you choose to do something as important as this?
We started Kafe Louverture because, well, number one, I wanted to leave my job and be independent and start a business. But when we started to look for an opportunity, like what type of business we were going to start, of course, food became one of the businesses that we wanted to go into, just because everybody gathers around food, and it's something that you're always going to need. It's an essential business, right? So everyone always loved the Haitian patty that my sister kept to the tradition of what my grandmother had taught us. So she's always made it. And every time we have a party or any gathering, or even at her job or any event, the patties was always the star. So Anthony felt like that it was a great product that we can start a business with. And I wasn't so convinced. And we talked to a few chefs, and when they tasted the patty that my sister was making at the time, they felt like, yes, this was definitely something that that everybody would love. And that kind of birthed Kafe Louverture.
And we like to really thank Lloyd Porter, rest in peace.
Mm.
He was a tremendous inspiration on us, starting this business. He helped us find a store. He passed away to COVID in March. But actually, Lloyd Porter and Hilary Porter, they were the first Black-owned, I would say, bakery and coffee shop in Bed-Stuy. So he basically, pioneered, helped us get the store, what machines we get. He became a mentor and inspiration for us to start Kafe Louverture and really find a space for us to start the business. Yeah, he actually went and got the space for him, but it was too small. So he recommended the landlord to us. And then we was able to get the store, and we have actually passed the store on to Titus, who owns Bed-Stuy Burger. So we passed it on to another brother in the neighborhood. So we keep the celebration and going. Yeah.
I actually remember when I distinctly remember because Hillary and Lloyd's first restaurant, right, Cafe de Tourment, was around the corner from where I live.
Yeah.
And I remember the day that the two of you, there was a day that y'all came in, I think after church or something, and y'all were chatting with them. And I didn't know y'all then, but I just saw y'all chatting. So it's, I mean, thank you for just bringing, him into this conversation. Because anybody who knew Lloyd knew that, he was really a fantastic guy. But yes, and I just, that spirit of like collective, cooperating with each other, helping each other out, right? Not in competition.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes us a little sad. We have lost so many people. It's 2020 was one of those really, man, we're all we're saying is like 10 years from now, all we got to say is, 2020, we lived through 2020. We survived it. We survived it. So many survived it because there are so many who were unable to. But yesterday we were in vibration. We were in meditation. We were like, there were those who needed to be called to be ancestors because there's a fight, there's a battle, right? And so there are those warriors that need to be called up to the other realm to support us who are still here. And we give thanks. We give thanks for them, for everything that their contribution and their love and the love that they gave to our family and to community. And so and it's so wonderful to hear like that he gave to you and he supported you inside of what you were creating, like that he let you know, yes, it's possible and go ahead and go do it. Because I think so often personally, like we don't, like to have that when you're in, when you're like struggling with like, should we or should
Right.
Like, I'm scared, but I want to, but I don't know. And then for somebody to be like, no, go ahead, go get, jump out that nest, like go do it. Like it may be a struggle, but go and do it because it's worth much more than staying still where you're at. And so we just really want to affirm for 2021 that those for risk takers, that we're all risk takers, and that's really the embodiment of the Haitian Revolution, right? Because people were not expecting it. They thought that we were,
right.
that we were going to stay, that we were comfortable inside of like this ridiculous social structure. And there were those who were like, nah, no, we are going to take the risk,
Right.
all of it. And so we just give thanks for that. And now we also made a big jump in 2020, right? Because you are no longer in Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, it was a hard decision. We've been actually, you talk about like making jumps. I always wanted to go back down south. My family is from the south, and I'm also half Jamaican, actually, my father's side. So I always wanted to go back to the south, and we finally, made that jump in June 26th. We left New York City to head down to North Carolina, and it's been an interesting during the pandemic. It was a really interesting transition, but it's been a plan for 14 years. Kathleen, we would talk about it all the time in the store. And it's funny, if you ever came to Kafe Louverture, there was a suitcase there, and the suitcase represented our exit, and that's what I was there for. The suitcase, that's what that suitcase actually represented, our exit when we would leave.
Yeah.
So,
I love that. We love that you had a physical representation, like a manifestation. You were like, this is our manifestation. But like every time that you would look and be like, yes, that's the plan. We love that. We may have to actually do that for 2021. Actually, like, have the symbol, right? That symbol to represent like where we're going. That is so beautiful. That's awesome. I hope everyone is able to take that for themselves and use that in their own way.
Yeah. And I'd like to say also that, we should always have a plan. People think like when we talk about, your 5-year plans or whatever, your plans, sometimes it could be 1 year, 5 year. You don't necessarily know when that plan is going to happen. Yeah, yes, you wish that, in 5 years, I'm going to do this, or next year I'm going to do that. Sometimes you don't know. Like Anthony said, it took us 14 years to actually leave New York. And that was always the plan. And we actually started Kafe Louverture so that we can, so we were able to have a business that we can take anywhere. And it just happens that our lease was like 5 years, and it was up, and then we had to make a decision. But those decisions were made because we see a bigger picture for Kafe Louverture. And we would like to be able to not only be in our store where we're going to be independent, because it was a purchase. The building belongs to us. So when we go into something like a pandemic, we don't have to worry about, do I have to keep paying the landlord, or just certain things. We want it to be more independent, have our store, have the possibility to do production, and take it beyond just New York, just North Carolina. So it's a plan for expansion. Now, how fast that's going to happen, we don't know, but it's a plan. And so far, everything we've planned happens with, us being patient.
But it was hard, like leaving our customers. Our customers for me became, I see Marilyn, like our customers became our family. It was hard, like really hard. Like these people became like, I lived in Bed-Stuy for 20 years, and I didn't find family until we opened the store, be honest with you. So that was hard. Like people like, oh, they closing. Like we spent nights and days, in the pandemic thinking, yes, one day we say yes, one day we say no. Yeah. It was a hard decision because our customers became our true family, So, yeah.
And on a day like today, where like all the customers come, it's like our busiest day.
This is our busiest day. This day and the block party, was our busiest day, but today was like, people will come from Connecticut, Canada. I mean, people come from all over the place just to spend time with us for Haitian Independence Day, New Year. So this will be our biggest day. And it's like, it's just different, you know?
Yeah, I saw you had posted, y'all posted on your page on IG footage, and it's so funny because I don't know how many years exactly that was, but you
that was 2017. No,
yeah,
that was the last one. That was 2017.
No, that wasn't the last one. No, this was it wasn't the last one.
That was 17.
I feel like it was maybe 1 year prior. You were panning the crowd.
It was 17. It was 17.
It was 17. Okay. But I was looking at it and it was just like, it was just so nice because literally seeing that image or seeing that footage, it's like and it's funny, I could see myself, I was actually sitting facing the window talking to another guy. There's another Anthony, I think.
Yeah, Haitian photographer, yes.
The photographer. But the point is that like, you know, everybody, whenever you were in that space, you, like, to your point, Anthony, right, is that we felt like we were with family. It was just a very unique atmosphere. I've lived in New York my whole life, and there really was no place that really, I think, embodied what you guys created. It was really, so it was good to see. It was nice to see that.
Thank you.
Kay said, we miss you.
Kay, yeah, I was just going to say, Kay Hickman has it in the chat. They said, we miss you, but we wish you all the best in the new year. So yeah, your family in Bed-Stuy misses you.
You know, we're hoping next year we could come back for at least Independence Day, because there's no, you know, Haitian Independence Day like in Brooklyn, New York. So hopefully next year we could do a pop-up.
Pull up.
And, you know, if we're not in a pandemic, and we'll make a whole necessarily know that plan is going to happen. Yes, you wish that, you know, in 5 years. Bedtime misses you. You know, we're hoping next year we could come back for at least Independence Day, because there's no, you know, Haitian Independence Day like in Brooklyn, New York. So hopefully next year we can go pop up. Pull up. And, you know, if we're not in a pandemic, and we'll make a hope.
Are we like in the voice?
Oh, we're
that was me talking. I don't
know.
Oh, sorry. We apologize.
Because it was played back.
We apologize.
Right?
We apologize.
Played back. Yeah.
We apologize for that. We apologize for that. We're doing multitasking here in the background. A lot of multitasking here in the background, which is having our brain be like, which is probably what was going on in the Haitian Revolution too. There are people who were multitasking and being like, we're gonna be we don't even know in that respect, like all the avenues, all the concentration of forces and energies for people to really come together inside of this, you know, embodying this one spirit. It's really amazing. It's kind of mind-blowing in reading the history to be like all of these people working together and all of the particular pieces that were supporting this, and we're over here in the background trying to do this, and we're like and it's not so it's like it's amazing actually that with all this concentration of energy, all of this that took place. So we just give thanks and honor that. So we apologize because we saw that you were looking confused, and we were like, oh, what's going on?
You're at the command center over there.
We are, but we are at the command center. Yes. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, please. No, go ahead.
No, Michael had a question in the chat. He was. It's actually to Joanne and Anthony.
Yes, I saw that.
So we are in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. It's actually only 8 hours from New York City. Mm-hmm. We are the first major town smallest town in North Carolina after Virginia, Richmond. It's about 59,000 people. So yeah.
I know. Made the trip many times. I have in-laws that live in Laurinburg, North Carolina. So yeah, I've been out digging. Yep. Okay, thank you. Maybe we'll stop.
We hope to see you, Michael.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
So the store is not open yet. We're in the process of building. And we think maybe June.
Hopefully.
No, I'm sorry, not June.
No. Hopefully March. There's also a GoFundMe page.
I think it's gonna be April.
Yeah, hopefully April. We put a GoFundMe page. It's on our Kafe Louverture page. We faced a lot of difficulties with opening the building up, a lot of permits. It's a smaller store, but it requires a little bit more than we expected. But we started breaking ground 2 days ago with getting the building together and putting the beams in. So yeah, so check out our bio and Kafe Louverture, our GoFundMe. Yeah, the great thing is, like I said, we was able to purchase the building, so we have it's a little bit easier.
Yes. Okay. So Claribel, do you want me to go now?
Yes.
Claribel?
We just wanted to plug for a minute.
Yes.
We just wanted to plug the GoFundMe link before we move on to the next segment. So if you would like to support Kafe Louverture, the GoFundMe is here. GoFundMe /Cafe-Louverture-needs-your-help. Or you could just Google Kafe Louverture GoFundMe and it will take you to the link directly. So so please support them inside of what they're building. Their newly constructed cafe down in North Carolina.
Yes. We missed you guys too. I see some of the messages.
Hey, Regine.
Yes. So, jeudi a c'est jour Soup Joumou, c'est pas vrai?
Yes, oui.
So, Joanne, ou même qui chef, ou même qui compte cuit manger, we're going to ask you to usher us into your one of the, I want to call it your sacred space because you're so incredibly blessed.
Thank you.
I made an attempt, y'all, at Soup Joumou this morning, but I know that it'll be nothing like what Joanne creates. And so, Joanne, we're ready to learn from you and to hear from you about Soup Joumou.
Okay, well, first, before we do that, I'd like to tell a little bit of the history of Soup Joumou. Joumou is pumpkin squash, and that's something that's being grown in Haiti, that's grown in many places, but that's the base of the soup. If you don't have pumpkin squash, butternut squash, any of those, it's not Soup Joumou. So from what I know, that the soup was made for the French.
The soup was made for the French elites. It was made actually for those who owned the plantations, actually, and the slaves that actually worked the plantation. They were only allowed to make the soup, but that's why freedom, is
they were not
freedom.
allowed to eat it.
They're allowed to eat it, so freedom is expensive. They were not allowed to eat it. The original soup was actually vegetarian, so they could only make it, go into the plantation, pick the herbs, pick the leeks, pick the squash, but they could never eat it. And these were the French colonizers in Haiti. There were so many plantations in Haiti, sugar plantations. Haiti's known for making rice. Coffee. So as these slaves worked, they could never touch this soup. They could only make it for the French colonizers who actually ran the plantations in Haiti.
So the revolution came about with the fact that we were being enslaved, and like you were saying, we were tired of it, and our ancestors made a plan. Here's the word again, plan, on how one day they would defeat the French, and they would actually kick them out of their territory and take back their land. So the winning of the revolution actually happened on November 18th, 1803. But they did not start celebrating until January. They did not start celebrating their independence until January 1st, 1804. And the soup was a symbol of
freedom, that now we can actually eat the soup.
Well, the soup symbolized what belonged to them and they were not allowed to have. So it became more so important that they used that to celebrate, because it was a celebration. So what do we always have for celebrations? We have drumming, music, food, people gatherings. So that's what they made, and they ate it all day.
And the original soup was actually vegetarian. It wasn't meat. They didn't put meat in the soup. It was
Right.
just squash based. And then as things developed, people started adding chicken, beef,
Well, more so
beef to the soup.
eventually.
But also, this one to go back to the revolution. You know, we hear about Jean Jacques, we hear about Toussaint Louverture. Excuse me, I'm not Haitian, so my Creole is not there.
So Jean-Jacques Dessalines,
But
Toussaint Louverture.
yeah, but there was also women like the team who was part of the revolution. And there's a bunch of women that was part of the women, what they were doing before the revolution started. The women had a ceremony actually, and they were organizing what was going to happen. So they actually had a ceremony first with the women had a ceremony.
So you're talking about Cécile Fatima, right?
Yes, she was bad. She was an organizer. She had a degree in communications actually. For team. So she basically was the one, she was like the head, you know, she wasn't the head, but she was the organizer amongst the other women. And the women, when they were organizing the revolution, they would bring it to the men head, and that's how it got started. So we can't forget about the women who also took part of the Haitian Revolution.
Right. So and what you're referencing, especially when we talk about the revolution, is the ceremony at Bois Caïman, right? And so it's not 1804, it's definitely years earlier, but that set it off, right? That ceremony that Cécile Fatima, you know, as a priestess, I would say she's probably a mumble, right? Practitioner, that she was responsible for helping set that off in collaboration, right? With Boukman, right? So that ceremony that you're referencing is really, really important because, you know, sometimes when we hear the word revolution, especially in our schools, we think of it as something that has to do with like politics and all of that. But that ceremony really speaks to the way in which is our spiritual strength, right? We had to pull from our ancestral knowledge and pull from that strength of a spirituality, right? That was really, really important. I think that's important to emphasize, because really the commitment, like making that Soup Joumou to me is always like, it's a way in which we're recommitting to what it is that was set off on that day. We're recommitting to that sense of like, you know, unity, right? A fight for our liberation, right?
Right.
And I think that's so important for us to keep in mind.
We would also like to add to what Kathleen was saying, that for us it's almost the commencement, right? That food, the power of food, or you know, in the Ifa tradition, the power of ashe, where when you are literally using your hands and your mouth, you're speaking things into existence, and that all of who we are, you're putting that essence into the food, and that it's almost for us, it reminds us that in the Soup Joumou, in eating this, that it is also that you remember the beginning of it, right? That it is always that embodiment of what we as indigenous people have always done, that we are partaking of the land because we know that the land is us as well, right? That it is this circular energy that's being resourced. And so it's almost like, so in making it and eating it, as Kathleen was saying, it is the embodiment, the remembrance of who we always have been, and for us to never forget that. And also that because you know, in all spiritual traditions, you make food, people come to the ceremonies, you always making food. You want to ensure that everyone has eaten, because you may not have eaten well on other days, but you are going to eat well here with spirit, and you know, with everyone at all energy systems. We are going to feed you here today. Feed your body, feed your spirit, feed your soul, and also then as a collective, as a community, pull that energy forward into what shall be. So you know, we feel the power of our ancestral, you know, collective energy, that draw. So we give thanks to that.
Yes, I think we have an elder here, Miss Alicia Simanko. I think she wants to add to some of the information that we've been talking about.
Jump in. Like I said,
Greeting.
I want to say something. We're not historians, so we just jump in.
But she
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
She's gonna help
Hello,
out.
everybody.
Yeah.
Actually,
Hey.
Alicia is my little 60. Hi, Anthony.
Oh, I didn't recognize you.
Dr. Ya.
Oh my gosh, we went to Haiti together. Oh.
That's right. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, good to see you. Bonne fête.
Yeah.
Bonne fête,
Yes, bonne fête d'indépendance. Yes.
So yes, if you
Thank
can
you
help us
for-
out with some of the history,
Well-
and telling everyone.
Yes. Well, the thing is, I grew up with that same history, that same myth that we had the Haitian soup because the French, didn't allow us as a slave to do it. And let's think about it, okay? Have we ever gone to France and heard them having a soup joumou in the way that we make it?
No.
Okay, well, the story that I believe that can help change, shift our a narrative, because we need to change that narrative, because we have to empower ourselves and stop continue telling the story as if we were the victim. You understand? According to Baina Bello, who's professor, she said that the first empress, and we know the first empress was Marie-Claire Heureuse Félicité. She was actually, she has a very long history. She became Jean-Jacques Dessalines' wife. Before that, she used to go on battlefield and help to care for those who were injured. Because once you were injured, you were left for dead. So she would use her knowledge of using plant for medicine and other provision to help the soldier, to heal them, and also to help women and to help children. So the story is that she came up with the recipe, because during the revolution, one cannot cannot cook every day. And they found that the pumpkin that you talked about, it was kabacha. It's not your regular pumpkin. That pumpkin has certain nutritional value. So when you eat it, it will hold you for several days. So it's that kabacha. And that's the one you will see Haitian use. Okay. And when you add all these different ingredients, there's about 20 ingredients that goes in there, Joanne?
Yes.
It's a very expensive soup. You got clove, you got garlic, and Baina Bello herself actually, when she every year she makes the soup, she actually took the soup and brought it to a lab to find out the nutritional value. So this is the type of soup during the revolution, when they would take it, eat it, it would help them. They could go for almost 7 days without any food.
Damn.
So that is one of the stories, and that is the story I wish to pass along, so that we could shift this narrative of being a victim. Because I have never been to France, they talk about no Soup Joumou the way we add our voodoo in there, okay?
So was it also, it was vegetarian?
It was vegetarian, right? Yeah, and nobody was killing anybody, okay?
Okay.
There was a real revolution going on for 13 years, okay?
Aibobo.
Aibobo, yes.
Yes,
so,
Betty.
So the empress, our empress, created this recipe for us, and it's been passed on. Okay, over time, we've added chicken and everything, but it was a nutritional food that kept our ancestors on the battlefield fighting. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
And can you listen?
Story.
Do you mind just breaking down Fatima a little bit? Can you talk about her a little bit?
Cécile Fatima.
I love her.
He wants to hear more about Cécile Fatima.
Cécile Fatima, from the story that I've heard from my elder, Baina Bello, she was a woman, what do you call it? She was one of the, bodyguard for Jean-Jacques Dessalines. She was a woman that, as you would say it, she was like espionage, Wow. She was able to disguise herself and infiltrate the different armies and bring back information. She would be a woman of pleasure, because it said that she was a beautiful woman, okay? And she would go and mingle with the army and get information. In fact, there was a story I heard that during the revolution, Jean-Jacques Dessalines had sent her to go to other countries like Cuba, Jamaica, to see if they were ready. Okay, because she was espion, what do you call it?
Spy?
Espionage. How do you say that?
So she was like a spy.
Right, she was a spy.
Wow.
So yes, and you had to have a spy, because that's how they got the information. That's how they got the guns to fight. So she played a big role even before, according to the story about how Jean-Jacques Dessalines died. They said that she had warned Jean-Jacques Dessalines not to go meet, because Dessalines had a meeting and Dessalines felt like he had to go. And she had warned him. So she had saved him on several assassination attempts. So she's really a woman of great courage and bravery. And the assassination of Jean-Jacques Dessalines is another story that also there's a myth about the Pont Rouge. What story have you guys heard that he died on Pont Rouge, right?
Yes.
Surrounded.
I feel like what I heard too was that his body was dismembered.
Yes. Well, according to the great-great-grandson of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, I was in a forum, he explained that actually the story is that Jean-Jacques Dessalines was invited over a patron's house, and when you're in rank, they try to marry each other among each other, like I think they were like godfathers or whatever. They said that he was poisoned because he rode a white horse, and the person who was in the kitchen, the cook, said that his horse was there when he came to meet them, and they poisoned him and took him to Pont Rouge and dismembered him. So that's the other story. So that it wasn't the way it was. They did dismember him and put his his part in different part, and what they call her came. Dede Basile came and was, so I don't want to say upset, because she then took charge and assembled all of his body parts into a white linen, and then gave him a proper burial. And that's the other story. That's it any other questions?
You just gave us the history of, like, I think 4 women that were part of the revolution. So that's amazing.
One more thing. Just give me 2 minutes of Mackendal, the great guy with the plants.
Look at you, Betsy.
Mackendal. Mackendal was actually the first one who started. He was actually as we would call it, a botanist. He knew plant. Okay. When he was on the plantation and he was receiving these cruel treatment, he learned plant. I'm sorry I couldn't give you more of where he came from in West Africa, but he learned the plant, and he was able to use it to poison the colonizers. Okay. And they basically whenever they noticed some slave who were rambunctious or knowledgeable, they would always anyway, I can't get my words together here, but they would always be in trouble. So Mackendal was one of those that provided and taught the other slave how to use poison. And when that was learned, he was captured. He was put into, he was used as an example. And I believe one of the things he said, he claimed that he would come back again. And because of his knowledge, the colonizer actually brutalized him in front of other black on the plantation. They cut his head, put his head up, but his statement about coming back came to fruition. They said that many years during the revolution, when they said that the Spanish and the French caught the yellow fever. So I didn't say that, I didn't give you that story straight. I'm gonna read on it so I could give it to you better next time. Okay, Anthony?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then you know about Tantoya.
Yes.
She was just, without Tantoya, without that woman energy, according to the story of Tantoya, Tantoya was a soldier in the court in West Africa. And she was captured. And when she came, brought on the plantation, she knew as a fighter, as a warrior woman, she was not gonna stay on the plantation. So she decided that she will run away. So the day that she decided to run away, they say that as she was traveling to the mountain, as you know, all slave, they become marooned by going to the mountain. As she was traveling, she heard a woman she heard a sound, and it sounded like a woman in pain. When she got close up to the person, she saw that it was a woman that was with child, was about to give birth. And she helped the woman, and the woman gave birth, and the woman asked her to please take care of my child. Please raise my child so that my child know what freedom is. And the mother died. And Toya, who was not thinking of that, who was, trying to escape, now has a child, and she agreed. So she took the child and she made the decision to go back on the plantation, because there was no way as a maroon she would be able to raise that child. So she went back on the plantation to raise this child. And she taught the child Yoruba, how to use the sword, how to fight. And they would often be separated, because during colonial time, they would sell the slave off, but they would always reunite. And the story is that he raised this child to become Jean-Jacques Dessalines. So Jean-Jacques Dessalines was raised by a warrior woman from the Yoruba, from West Africa, that taught him how to meditate, how to speak Yoruba, how to fight with a sword. And that's why we had such a talented visionary in the midst of the revolution, one of them.
Right. And then one last thing, can you tell us the difference between Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines? Because one supposedly started and the other one took on, picked up the revolution and finished it off.
Well, Toussaint Louverture, he was I say Toussaint is a brave, a diplomat. As far as I can tell, he was of great military standing than Napoleon Bonaparte, because he believed in no man should be owned by another man to begin. Okay, so he already had that. However, he was more of believe in working with the French, thinking that they can work together.
Yes.
Okay. He was raised with the Catholic on the plantation, Toussaint. So he really aligned himself with their value, thinking that they could work together. So he was more of a diplomat. I forget which of the deity, but more of a diplomat. While Jean-Jacques Dessalines, who was raised by a military woman, was more of a ogu. He was a fighter. Okay, he was raised to understand freedom. Okay, freedom is not just a place; it's a continuous of a struggle. Okay, and then he knew his direction, his the purpose of freedom. So he was more of a military man, old goose spirit. He was a fighter. He was ready to fight. So when they captured Toussaint Louverture, okay, and he knew that Jean-Jacques Dessalines would take on and carry on and continue to fight. So it was two different personalities. He was more of a, they call it a Bossad, you know, he was like more of the original spirit of the people.
Sorry to interrupt. I've heard Baina Bello talk about how when you think about Louverture's name, he's the one who opens the door, right?
Yes, yes, Toussaint Louverture, because his name was originally Dominique, and then he changed it to Toussaint, meaning that who opened the door. So he opened the door for Dessalines to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. For, so he was more of a leg back. He was more of a leg back.
Exactly. Making way for, you know, you got to make way for that fierceness to come through.
Correct. Yes. All right. Well, you got me going.
Thank you. Miss you. Thank you.
Yes. But we do want to, you know, not play the victim anymore with that story. We're not the victim. This is our soup for us, by us. I have never heard any French people use anything. And plus, they don't have the voodoo we put in there, okay?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Yes. I just want to just share appreciation real quick, Claribel, sorry. Because I think, you know, we call this Soup Joumou storytelling, and I think this was a perfect sort of representation of storytelling, right? That when we tell story in community, when we're talking together, right? I share what I know, and then those that are wiser, have more insight, you know, they help us to clarify and to understand. But more importantly, what you helped us to do was to really get rooted, and that this story belongs to us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And that's the story we'll be telling from now on.
Yes.
So I'm gonna see. Can we see if we can show them how to do?
So we're gonna show you. We ain't showing you the recipe. That ain't happening today.
Oh,
let me clarify that. But we're gonna go into the soup that my wife makes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So Joanne is going to be turning on her other camera so that we can see them in the making of the soup and some of the ingredients and some of the story that goes along with that. We are just so enthralled with today. Yes, we're so happy. We're so happy that we are embodying this aspect of our tradition, our indigenous traditions of sharing and community stories and our love. Okay.
So can you guys see?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, great. So we're gonna oh, hold on.
Reverse it.
So basically we're gonna show you it's not echoing, right?
No echo.
Good.
Okay, great. So we're gonna show you the soup that my wife makes. I want to say that also this soup has healing property. Like we have had customers who have came to the store sick with cold, flu, and this stuff. Oh, you gotta add the Haitian rum.
You add Haitian. You add babankou to
the soup. You eat the soup. You add the Haitian rum in a little cup with a little lemon and ginger. It wipes out. It wipes out flus. This is actually for 5 years. I didn't believe it, but I'm a witness. I have seen customers come to the store and have the soup, and it wipes out, you know, colds and flus. It's a very powerful soup with the Haitian rum. The Haitian rum that they make.
Sorry, we don't add a Haitian rum.
No, not in the soup. Yes. We don't add to the soup. But you have the soup. Anyway.
Joanne is like, hold up. Let's be clear.
You confuse people. Now everybody's gonna start pouring rum into their soup. No.
You're gonna have one interesting party if you do that. We don't know. That'd be some interesting.
Maybe we'll have to try that then.
You know we're inventive. You know that would be something else. Yes. I mean, 2 shots of babankou, and we're like, woo.
Yep. So this is the squash she was talking about. We use different squash at the store. Because like she said, you know, things can get really expensive when you start adding a lot to the soup. So this is my favorite squash to use, and we mix it. Sometimes I use butternut squash. Sometimes I use this pumpkin, which I do see in Haiti a lot. And basically what you do is you cut off the skin, you cut your squash, you boil it. So in that process, you want to add a little bit of leeks. I put some of the cloves and salt, and that's pretty much it. So I boil it, and then I get this, which is the joumou, and then that would get blended. So which, if I blended, it would be. No, Anthony, you can't move. So if Anthony, they can't see. So you would blend it. I guess in Haiti they put it in a, what do you call it? What do you call a passoire? Kathleen? What do you call it again?
Yes, passoire. It would be a passoire.
Yeah. So in Haiti they don't necessarily have blenders and stuff like that, so they do it all by hand. But you know, technology, so we blend the joumou. And
oh, so like you have those potato pounders, or just you just keep pounding in the
No, I know what you're talking about, that thing, but actually you need to, it kind of has to be more of a puree consistency. If you were to use just a pounder, you still have chunks. That's why you blend it.
Yep. Can you help me?
We're all like, back in the day, what were you using without a blender? Okay.
That's what she was talking about. The passoire, which is like a sieve.
Yeah. So they would use that, put it in, and then kind of like, you know, get it soft, which is, you know, a long process.
Exactly.
But
all that energy, all that love being put into that food. What?
And so you start out with your oil, and you have your onions, leeks. I saute that. We use celery, carrots, turnip, and root vegetables. This is a sweet potato, but only because that's what I like. But you can use any of those root vegetables that you find in the Caribbean stores. A lot of people use potatoes and stuff like that. I like to use the white sweet potato.
Oh, is that what we in the Dominican Republic we call it batata?
Yes. Yep. And potatoes, but I use yuca.
Yeah.
They have better flavor.
Yes, use all those ingredients from our island. Yes.
Yep. And then our spices, garlic, cloves, thyme. I mean, this is the recipe. Like, you can find it anywhere. And then
Anthony's like, this is a special. This is don't give away.
I'm like, slow down. You're giving too much information.
Like, don't give away the
secret. No. Stop it.
But Anthony, we have to say this. We have to say this though. You cannot replicate Joanne. See, that's the secret ingredient that you keep forgetting.
Because when I marinate the chicken, or chicken, beef, whatever it is, it's just the spices that I use. Like, I can't even explain it to you, but that's what, you know, it gives it the flavor. So you can make your soup, but if there's certain spices you don't use, then it's just not gonna have the flavor that you're looking for. So
I just want to just real quick, Dr. Ya put in the chat the nutritional, that squash, that particular squash that we're talking about for the soup, nutrition facts and health benefits. Is there anybody who's curious as to, you know, why that was, you know, such an important ingredient?
Yes.
The kombucha squash.
I have my, Anthony, if you could reverse this, that would help. This is like the chicken that I marinated, boiled. Oops. Uh-oh. So everything is put together. And then you have this finishing. Soup. And people love to put pasta. I don't.
I don't either.
There's nothing wrong with it. You just put it in like 7 minutes before your soup is done. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Do you guys want me to do more of a demo?
Yeah, you don't put Maggi.
No, I don't put like I keep it pretty natural. I don't put like the stuff that has a lot of sodium. You know, just things that is not really healthy.
So we can scan through here.
I showed. There's cabbage used, and that also is you would add it before the soup is almost finished because you don't want to do it too much. You don't want it to boil too much.
You want it to be kind of a little. We would use the word a little, still a little hard,
but
you want it to get wilted, but you don't want it to be like.
Yes. And you don't want to lose it in the process.
Yeah. Exactly. So one of the things that I learned recently about, and Joanne, I'd love to hear like your experience growing up Haitian, was that, you know, Baina Bella was talking about this whole thing of partager, right? And this idea that the soup we talked about its history, what it represents. But one of the most important things about making the soup is not just that you make soup for your house, but you share it, right?
Yes,
so correct. Talk a little bit about your experience with that growing up, and maybe, you know, how you sort of see it as, you know, one of the main things that you would make as a business owner to share in the community.
Well, I know like a lot of people have traditions where during the holidays they go from one family, you know, they eat at home and then they go and visit the other family members throughout the day. So every time they go to a family members, you know, they're having the soup as well. So they're not just eating one bowl of soup at home, but they're eating several, you know, in several different places. You know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Correct.
Did you want to say more about that, Dr. Ya? I don't know if you wanted to speak on that.
No, like you said, the tradition is everybody is making soup joumou. Different ways, like you say, some add macaroni, some doesn't. And I grew up in Haiti, so it was always a pleasure to go to the different home and having a little bowl of soup. And and she said, having the soup, making the soup is not celebrating the essence of the honoring, you know, the ancestors and the independent without you sharing it. So when you make it, you have to share it with someone.
Yes.
And because in Haiti, everybody knows. And in Haiti, in fact, everybody used to know what everybody's cooking because it was always the same menu on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you're having legume on Tuesday, everybody's having legume on Tuesday. So yes.
So
you're right.
Yeah, and I think that's so powerful, right? Because I think for me, when I thought about it more, it's like I'm not free unless you're free, right?
Yes.
So if we're talking about liberation and we're honoring, you know, this history, that the sharing is also in that I'm making sure that you're good and I'm good, right? And so you know, like I said at the beginning, I took a stab at it and I made my own pot of soup joumou. This is the first time I've ever done this on Janvier, Janvier, right? So, you know, that's kind of me just getting closer and more connected. Obviously, also to honor the memory of my mother, who I lost this year, last year, I should say, in March. So, you know, she was with me right there in the kitchen. I gave her a bowl this morning along with her coffee.
Ibaye.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So yeah, so
and I just wanted to add, and you know, for us, it's prosperity soup as well. So it's kind of like a new way to start off the new year fresh, healthy. So yes, we would definitely want to share that. You know, we want all our families and friends to prosper.
That's right.
So that was, you know, a good reason also that we are
sharing and, you know, not just keeping this to ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this
Actually, we wanted to share, our Soup Joumou story too. We wanted to share, we want to share our Soup Joumou story because it was so impactful. We forget where we we can't remember where we had it in 2016. We can't hone in what happened, but, or I think we might have been at we can't remember right now. We'll be making something up that's not even true. But whatever happened, right? Is that we were eating it or we were reading the ingredients and we were like, hold up a second. This is what it initiated being like, wait a minute, this recognition that this soup was something that our father was always making. Like we always had soup and it always had to have pumpkin in it. It was always, it was like a prerequisite even. It's like everything else, who cares, but we gotta have the pumpkin in the soup. and it just reminded us, we were like, hold up, this is a soup that for many of us, especially for those who may be Dominican, where people are always saying that there's this contentious relationship on the island, but we were like, but hold up, this soup is our memory as well. This soup is part of our collective history as well, inside of what has transpired. And we were like, this is the soup that our father would make, and this is the soup that, you know, from our father and from our grandmother, who his great grandmother, who was Haitian, and it had to stop and be like, is this how you pass, you know, this is how you pass history down, right? Like his grandmother made it, his mother made it, and then, you know, here he is making it, and we always have pumpkin in it, and it made us stop and be like, oh, we too, you know, there are so many who, you know, culturally growing up as Dominican, who have lost touch with that essence of like this communal experience and how we've always been together. And so which had us then, you know, and then which had us actually, we were with Regine in 2016, and we were like, Regine, we want you to teach us how to make Soup Joumou.
She called me.
And Regine, do you remember that? We were like, we want you to come, and she was like, well, we're not making it, but we got but we got somebody else in the house who's going to be making it. You can come and videotape them, and, you know, and we can have a conversation about it, which was really so wonderful.
It was great. It was wonderful. Ça passe, papa?
Hola, bonjour, messieurs, dames.
Hello.
Comment on est?
Hello, Atibo.
Hello, Atibo.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Happy Independence Day. Happy New Year.
Day, yes.
All the yumminess to come to you guys. So to add to what Clive just said, Clive.
Is that Atibo?
I said.
Oh, Atibo.
I'm here. I'm in the house.
Yeah.
So to add to Clive, when we purged the island of the parasites from Europe, we didn't just purge our side. We liberated the whole island.
All of it.
That includes, you know, the West, both the West, which is Haiti now, and Spanish Haiti, the DR, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
So the Soup Joumou you should claim it. It's part of your heritage too.
We claiming it. We claiming it. In fact, we claim it so much after Regine. The reason why we were like, Regine, you got to teach us how to do this, like, you know, like, so that we have an understanding from this other side of our history, right? And then in 2017, we went up to, you know, Washington Heights, and we were giving out Soup Joumou because we were like, y'all need to know. You all need to know that your liberation was part of this liberation that happened for all of us. It was not
exactly
this one-sided event. No, when we
no, so we purged the island of all the parasites, of all the European parasites, and eventually, so when we parted the island, you know, our side remained Haiti, and your side, you know, the DR side was Spanish Haiti. Did you know that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, I just have to chip in.
You know, can I just say that we have many storytellers in the house, and it's always good to be in the company of beautiful storytellers. Atibo, nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys. I love you so much.
We love you so much as well. This is family up in here. We love being with family on our Independence Day and New Year's Eve. You know, Desaline was a smart human being. He was like, y'all never gonna forget what we did for you. We are going to celebrate our Independence Day on the day that you celebrate the New Year, and you shall remember us forever.
Yes.
Exactly. Absolutely.
It was as if he was like, y'all don't want to recognize who the fuck we are. That's all right. Well, we're gonna have you recognize. That's how we feel.
So I just want to say Happy New Year. Bon fête indépendance tout le monde. I just want to shout you out and just say this is a beautiful idea. Dominican loves Haitians. This is a powerful movement. We miss you. I was thinking about Kafe Louverture and just thinking, wow, you know, community happens in so many ways. It happens in so many ways, but first it has to be an action that we take collectively. When we recognize we have something to offer, we have something that is important. We have this aspect of a history, of a herstory that is significant. So when we come together and we come and we partake and we have this soup together, we are calling all that is within our DNA. We are calling ancient ancestors, ancient gods. And each time we take a bit of this soup, we reignite. This is our spinach, like Popeyes. You understand? The storytelling and the myths that exist, we have our own. This is ours. This is a moment to stand and understand that the fire that runs in all of our blood is because those who came before us stood so that we could breathe. So when we think about 2020 and we think about all that has happened, all that the challenges when people were chanting, we can't breathe. Tout le monde haïtien connaît that we are breathing, we are alive. We give thanks. And I just want to shout you out, coming out to North Carolina. We feel you, we miss you, and Soup Joumou lives in all of us. Aïe bobo.
Aïe bobo.
Pull up.
Anthony.
Yes.
I miss you, bro.
I miss you, man. You don't understand, brother. The conversations, come see us. But, you know, hopefully you're going to come pull up in North Carolina, come down and see us, man. You know?
I will. You
All
know
right.
I will. Joanne.
Me.
Joanne, I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss Desaline.
Yes, she's talking. She's on fire.
Oh my gosh.
She is on fire.
Yes.
She's on fire.
You think she could be your child and not be talking already?
Exactly, right? This girl is talking, man. It's amazing. Anyhow, you know, I mean, she's carrying the spirit of Marie-Jeanne and Desaline. So yeah, Tati Gigi can attest to it.
Amen. Amen. So listen, yeah. I just want to tell you how beautiful this is an intergenerational thing happening. I sent this link to my daughter Ngozi, and I said, Ngozi, you know, you're a chef. You need to go and see how Chef Joanne is making this soup, you know, because there's, you know, there's a blessing in this. So I just want to hail up again this coming together of us understanding our history. And I'm so thankful. Thanks for joining, Ngozi. And thank you, Joanne, for sharing and all of you for sharing this time together. Aye bobo.
Aye bobo.
Yes.
I really want to say.
We getting camera shots. I want to see more of this food happening.
Oh, yeah. We just wanted to say that this is such a blessing to bring it here in this way with family. That we may be spread out where we are, but that we're here together, and that this is the spirit of that, and we just want to yes to Regine, like yes to affirm what Regine was communicating, and to just honor yes all that we are, that it gives us life.
And I want to add to that, right, just to build on, because there's a lot of love coming through in a platform that, you know, oftentimes doesn't feel like this. Right, this is not an easy platform to navigate, but I think what it speaks to is that the very thing that we're celebrating, as we've said already here, that it's in our DNA, that we're resilient, that we are we're ingenious folks, we innovate, and the ways that this represents all of that, right? All of that innovation, all of that resilience, no matter what. We can't be together. We can't necessarily be handing each other a bowl of soup in this moment, but you know, the willingness of Joanne and Anthony to let us into their home and their kitchen, and to share this beautiful recipe, this sustenance, it's a powerful thing what we're doing here. Very, very powerful. Lots of powerful people in here as well. I want to shout out my homegirl Trisha. She just said hello in the chat. So it's nice to just be in all this great company.
Yeah.
What else? All right, but like the food shots, because I'm greedy. I like to see what's happening with the food.
Yes, we see that steam and it's like, that steam is coming at us. We can imagine just what that aroma smells like. What's in the pot that's cooking right now? What's inside of there that's like?
What you doing?
Oh, okay. So all the vegetables and herbs that I showed you, Anthony, put it in here. So everything went in. So I sauteed my onions, my leeks. Then I threw in the root vegetables. That means the carrots, celery, and any potatoes, any of those things. And you have to throw a bay leaf. I'm sorry, not a bay leaf. Thyme in there.
So you use the whole thyme. You use the not dry thyme, but like real
the fresh one.
Fresh thyme.
Yes. And then I put all my spices, and I threw in, your meat. It could be your beef, or if you're not making, if you're not using meat, whatever you're using. So I sauteed all that. I put a little bit of water, and I have my Joumou that's been blended. So now it's going in.
The puree.
The puree. The pumpkin puree. So that goes in. And you see this beautiful color. And then the broth that that the chicken made. So that goes in. See how rich this looks? With a lot of spices. So then I pour that in. There's a nice green pepper in there for flavor. Some more thyme. So that goes in. So we let that cook. You see? Anthony, closer. So then I would let this boil. So once it's boiled and I see that like the root vegetables are cooked, that's when I add in the cabbage, parsley, and if you like pasta, then you add that in.
Where did they put, where did this whole putting pasta in come in? At what point do you think that?
I don't know.
It's I guess it's just like languages, right? Haiti, things evolve in Haiti all the time or devolve, right?
Yeah. But I'm sure it was not original.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It absolutely is not.
Yep. I agree.
Because even the whole thing of pasta is like, that's a very like
European.
Right.
Asian.
Oh, Asian? Okay.
Well, it started in China, I know.
Right, but
it could be any one of those.
Yeah. It's a recent addition.
I feel like it's like when we came to the United States, we started putting spaghetti in the island. That's what I think.
No. In Haiti, they do it too, man.
Yeah, they do it in Haiti.
No, but
originally they did not.
No, they didn't.
I'm wondering if that's an adaptation to when, that's what I'm wondering. It's more of a question.
I'm not sure. It's like, for instance, in Haitian cuisine now, that ubiquitous Maggi cube, bouillon cube, that's all synthetic shit. Everybody uses it now, almost everybody. I know Joanne doesn't,
No, I don't.
but it's an imposition, it's a Western imposition on our cuisine, and we have to resist it. I don't use that shit.
I resist the pasta.
Pardon?
I don't like the pasta. I don't like it.
You know what it is? It expands and it grows, and
it takes away the soup. It takes away the soup, the juice, the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The stuff that goes into our molecular structure, the soup, all of that.
Exactly.
We also think with the bouillon that because it has what is the MSG? The bouillons have some ingredients that are not necessarily really good for our bodies, and so it's just like why?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm glad you pointed that out. I don't use it because there's too much sodium, and it's just not good for us. So, I like to use the Scotch bonnet pepper, which gives it the flavor that that you need to make it really good.
Exactly. No, but this is not how our forebears cooked, and their food was delicious without the bouillon cube.
And you know what? Maybe about 3 years ago, I went to a Korean grocer, and you know how when you go up to the counter to pay for your stuff, sometimes they'll have the Maggi stuff like on display. They had a Maggi cube for Jean. And I was like,
it's poison.
I was like, what is this?
Wait, what's poison?
It's all synthetic.
They had a
shit.
Maggi cube for Jean.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh.
But it's disgusting. First of all, that's not Jean.
It's beyond disgusting, man.
Wait, I didn't hear that.
I was talking about the Maggi cube. Now there's a flavor that's Jean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was just saying that
I saw it.
Yeah.
And you guys also, like, when we made the Jean in our store, we never used a cube because, again, all the sodium and all these things that are not good for you. So my mom always sent it to me.
Poison.
Yeah. So we use the natural stuff. And maybe that's why our food was so good too.
Yeah.
Ina is saying that her Haitian neighbor says the pasta gives the soup more body, but she agrees to resist all these unhealthy additives. Yeah, so I guess for us, we want to have the liquid. we like liquid. Yeah. That's what makes it soup. Otherwise, it's like, what are we doing? That's what we think. That's what we think.
And that's why I said, like, if there's certain vegetables you don't like, okay, maybe not add it, or use the one that you like.
Hello.
Oh, Anthony put the phone. So yeah, the mic on the computer, Joanne, is not on. So
yeah, but we're close enough.
It's better.
So what did you say before about that's why with the vegetables, if you don't
there's so many great vegetables that exist. So you don't need to add the pasta and stuff like that. It's nice to add some of the vegetables that you do like.
I think our soup will be different. So one thing I want to add, that our soup is going to be more amazing because so where we live at, there's around 20 individual farms that are located. So our soup is going to be on a different level because we're getting stuff now directly from the farms 15 to 20 minutes away. So it's going to be a totally different taste again.
Well, even better.
Even better taste.
That's a great segue, Anthony, because one of the things that we wanted to also talk about was land sovereignty and like Joanne, how you were saying before, how you make sure that when you go to Haiti, how you give back, how it's important to give back to the community, so that you are in, that spirit of abundance is also being brought into your own life and what you're doing.
Yes. What was I noticed?
it was a conversation that we were having a couple days ago, where we talked about how you make your.
We talked about giving, I think.
Yes,
it was.
About. Yeah.
So we talked about the power of giving.
Oh, yes.
And what I want to explain is that whatever it's somebody who has a GoFundMe, somebody, your family member, even if it's $1 or $5, when you give, you are affirming and you're sowing a seed into what they're doing. And the seed will return back to you many-fold. Like, you know what I'm saying? The power of sowing seeds is powerful because you come into alignment that, okay, I'm believing in what this person or whatever is doing, and I'm going to sow a seed into what they're doing. So it's sowing, especially it's the beginning of the new year, it's very important to sow seeds this week, next week, because this is the beginning. Yeah.
So we're going to just, at this moment, shamelessly plug your GoFundMe to support you inside of what you're building. You move from Bed-Stuy to North Carolina, and any support that you give to Kafe Lourveture so that they are now creating their new restaurant in North Carolina. So this is their GoFundMe. And we can also put the GoFundMe in the link. So, you know, whatever you can share, whether you share the information as well, there may be other people in your community, or if you can give $5 or $10, you know, that will support them inside of what they're creating in this new year. So we just we wanted to, and we're gonna put that information in the chat for those of you who are able to, if you would like to, you know, support them and also share their information with your network, because you never know what can transpire. And, you know, it's also something that we're doing. We have a GoFundMe that's up as well. So if you would like to support us, we welcome all donations, and also the donation of energy, right? The energy network, because there may be somebody who you could connect us with, and that is the most important thing, like the connection and the relationships that are being created right now and being shared. So yeah, so we just wanted to let you know about Kafe Louverture's GoFundMe. It's in the link. If you would like to share, if you would like to give, support them in what they're creating, the new creation in North Carolina. So we just wanted to give you that information. And as you can see, it's in the bottom of our screen as well.
So this is the finished product.
Wait, can we?
You see it?
So, but that took like about 30 minutes to heat up and make. But we know that it took a whole lot of time for you to make that preparing that soup was what that's what took time.
So this one I made this morning, so that I would have a finished product for you guys. Yeah. But the one I just made is still cooking. Yeah. And slow cooking is best.
So Joanne, who is going to be blessed to share in this soup with you?
Well, Kathleen, Anthony and I will. But you know, it's going to be so much soup for just the two of us. So we have a couple of friends that we're going to be sharing with. We're going to bring it over for them. And also this soup freezes well, or it'll stay in your refrigerator for a while. So I'll be eating soup for the rest of the week.
That's amazing.
And then next week.
Yes. Yes, I love that.
Yep.
You know,
sorry guys, this is gonna taste even better the next day.
Yes.
I was about to say.
All the ingredients like really marinating into each other together.
They become wedded.
I also see a local farmer, Anna. I see you, Miss Person. How are you? Yeah, you want to say something right quick about what you're doing in Brooklyn?
Yes, hi there, Anthony. I am a huge supporter. Yesterday, you know, we had such a bountiful pumpkin season this year of collards and kale and pumpkin. We had about maybe 150 pumpkins. And I had this idea, you know, in homage to, I mean, this great tradition. I mean, you know, freedom for Haitian people. It's not just for Haitian people. It's for everybody in the diaspora.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. I'm Jamaican and I relate to this. And so we had this thing where we had all our Haitian supporters come by and I did interviews with them. So if you go on our page, you'll see a powerful testimony. and Anthony, and your beautiful wife. I forgot her name. I wish you all the best, and I'm definitely going to be donating to your GoFund. I'm
looking forward to seeing you. I appreciate everything that you're doing in Brooklyn. I'm really excited for the New Year's for you. You have contributed a lot to the community. And I just want to add, I'm half Jamaican also, so I'm really excited.
Oh wow!
A quarter.
Yes, I'm 25%.
He's a quarter. A quarter.
It's all in the family. It's all in the family. Yes. And I love, Anthony, what you said about sowing a seed. For sure, you sow that seed and it comes back to you tenfold. So yes, spread it out around. And much love and much love in your new community.
I mean, we think about this. We inside of Jamaica, we think about Bookman, right? Like he was sent to Haiti to purposely be killed, right? Because they knew that the Haitian system of enslaving people was really harsh. So he was a problem in Jamaica, and they were like, well, we're going to take care of this problem. We're going to send him over to Haiti, and then that's going to be it. Little did they know what then would ensue, right? What then he would be like, no, we got peoples up in here. Spirit is really churning and having us be like, no, there's liberation happening. So, we are in essence are all connected. Yes. Kathleen?
I wanted to just real quick. But I appreciated what Miss Ina was saying about how we all share in this. And I also just, in terms of folks of the diaspora, if you talk to folks who are from the South, if you talk to folks from the Caribbean, my good friend Trisha on here, we talked last night over the cook up rice that you must, and if you're Guyanese, you make cook up rice, as a way to usher in the new year. If you're from the South, there's a lot of different traditions. We talked a bit about that, the black eyed peas, the collard greens. I heard recently, I'm gonna just share this real quick, because we were talking about the cabbage in the soup. And there's a tradition, an African-American tradition, of taking a head of cabbage and you kick it around the house, throughout the house. Bless the house with prosperity. And then you take the cabbage and you'll cook it up. So sorry, go ahead.
That's deep from South Carolina, Bennettsville, Henderson. That's what they do deep in South Carolina, not the north. But the traditions are still in the South Carolina, deep in the country. Yeah.
Right. So I say that to say that it really speaks again to the people of the African diaspora, and we are so committed. We recommit ourselves. Be like, we're gonna make it. This year, 2020 kicked my ass. I'll speak for myself. But just that, for me, it's all the different ways that we recommit ourselves to ourselves, right? All of these things, whether it's the cook up rice or the cabbage or the black eyed peas or the collard greens, for me, it represents the way in which we are committed to ourselves. We see ourselves in the future. Yes. Not just for ourselves, but for the generations that are coming up behind us. So I want to just express my deep respect and really love for the way in which that we do that in all these different ways. Right. So I just wanted to just share that.
Thank you, Kathleen.
They're doing this to you, Maya. I don't know work on the first. They're doing this to you. I know you got to go to work today.
Somebody's coming in.
Jean, are you speaking?
All right. Have a blessed day.
Jean might not know.
Jean is on the phone.
Oh, good.
Jean, we can hear you. We can hear you talking to somebody else. We thought you were talking to us.
See my good friend Edwin, the great teacher. If you want to pull up, say something, Edwin. I see you. Pull up.
Huh?
I see my friend Edwin, professor, great teacher out of Brooklyn. If you got something to say, come on, pull up.
Oh yeah, he's a great teacher.
I see Nicole, his wife. Hello.
Hey, Edward's in the kitchen and he's running downstairs. He didn't realize you were calling him. How y'all doing?
It is such a small world and such a blessing.
I know.
Nicole
like,
and Edwin
I know Claremont.
Hey, happy Independence Day, guys.
Thank you, Edwin. Thank you.
Thank you. Independence Day.
Edwin, tell us a little history.
Edwin, pull up. Edwin, give me 1 minute. Edwin, pull up.
Hold on, guys. You know I'm Haitian, so I don't walk around with a shirt on, even in the winter.
Yo, this is a miracle because Edwin isn't on Facebook. We don't know. Edwin isn't. So for you to like be here, it's like for us, it feels like a miracle of miracles because we haven't seen Edwin. I guess we saw the last time we saw him, we were on the corner of Halsey and he was leaving with the family with Nicole and the children in the car. And he was like, he honked and was like, hey, and we saw him drive off. We were like, yay.
Edwin's always on a run.
So
That's the plan.
There you go. We're so happy. We're so blessed, Nicole and Edwin, to be here. Yay!
There you go. Pull up, Ed. Give us 1 minute to say something, Ed.
Yeah. So did you guys talk about a little bit of the history of the Soup Joumou?
Yes.
What happened and why the Haitians started to make it?
Yes.
What was that? Why?
Go ahead. You pull up.
I just want to say that I know this is blasphemy, but Joumou has too much stuff in it for me, but it's good.
Oh, Nicole, you may lose your Haitian card for that. What?
I've never been Haitian. That's the thing. I have Haitians arguing with me about being Haitian. I've never been Haitian a day in my life.
Oh, come on, Nicole. But regardless, the story about what happened after the war, did you talk about that?
A little bit, but so you can elaborate.
All right, so we know, I guess you've probably said this already, but after the war was a devastating war where, we lost, hundreds of thousands, and it devastated the country, and people were hungry. So at the end of this war, at the end of the Haitian Revolution, the survivors had to gather up whatever they could and make a soup. And that's why we share the soup, and that's why we make the soup. Even though the soup probably goes back to African traditions, but that's the story behind why we make and share the soup, so that we, and that's why it has so much stuff in it. So yeah, you guys talked about, having all the spaghetti and the pasta in it. It has so much stuff in it because by tradition, it's supposed to. Because the Haitians just put, as even though the foundation is pumpkin, but whatever they had, potatoes, whatever they had, they threw in it, and they still do that today. Whatever they found, when spaghetti got into the markets in Haiti, they had the spaghetti, they threw it in, to make it to make the soup more powerful, because the whole point of the soup was to fight the starvation after the war. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Ed. Thank you.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Okay, our elder is going to talk again.
Go ahead.
Edwin, thank you for that. One of the things that I had shared with them is that the recipe, the story I heard from Professor Baina Bello is that it was a recipe that was given to us by the first lady, or the first Empress, Marie-Claire Heureuse Félicité, who was part of the revolution, the 13-year revolution. Because the Haitian could not, cook every day, she gave them the recipe, this Soup Joumou recipe. And I say that to all because we tend to tell, I'm glad you told the story the way you did. You didn't tell it as if, the colonizer didn't let us have it, because that's framing it in a victim kind of context. And that I'm saying that, we need to move away from that story, because I've never gone to France and hear about a soup joumou the way we make it with our own voodoo, okay? I call it the voodoo essence. So so it is a story that I'm telling it based on the Marie-Claire Heureuse Félicité as the one who gave us the recipe. Like you said, it's been around. It's not something new. And that's it. Is that good, Kathleen?
Excellent.
Thank you.
It's excellent.
Thank you, Edwin.
We're
You're
gonna.
welcome.
Yes. Just so grateful for everyone sort of weighing in. I want to just quickly share Claribel, I don't know if you'll come back on for a moment. I want to go and get off of my bookshelf, because I think what I'm loving about this moment is the way in which we keep telling the story, and we keep sharing and hearing from each other, right? And we're all in many ways almost like a soup. We're all putting our ingredient. We're sharing something, and some place we're getting more clear. But I'm gonna quickly go get this book, and kind of just invite us to what to do for the rest of the day. So Claribel, I'm just gonna take like 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay, but wait, the invitation is for us to share what we're going to do for the rest of the day.
Yes,
so we're going to
yes.
start it off. We're going to start it off. We're going to start it off because one of the things that we did when we were gathering some names together of the Haitian revolutionaries. We were gathering some of the names and honoring of them. And one of the books we pulled out this book, Silencing the Past. We pulled out this book, Silencing the Past, and we haven't read the last chapter. We haven't read the last part, and so we were looking at one of the heroes that's in some respect been lost purposely, was attempted to be lost, his name to be lost. And we were like, oh, and the first thing that we thought about, Kathleen, inside of what you're saying, we were like, we need to sit with this book, and we need to finish reading this book to honor what the writer, and to honor the history, and to be honoring, you know, what this book represents, silencing the past, that we are no longer going to be silenced. And in that spirit, this is what we're going to finish this book today.
Also because we, many of us are lucky to be, you know, parents, or, you know, tatis, or whatever, matants, uncles, whatever. And this is a book by Tammy Charles. And it's called Freedom Soup, and it's the story of Soup Joumou. As it's a children's book. It came out about a year ago. So if you don't have this book, or you've never seen it, I encourage you to go find it, go buy it at a local bookstore. Actually, Trisha's bookstore, Cups and Books on Bedford, is a Black-owned, family-owned bookstore. You can find it there. But the point is that what we did today together, in this time together, is we were sharing, and we were keeping the history going. And I think as an educator, I'll always say that, you know, we have to tell our children these stories. We have to help our young people know who they are and where they came from, so that people can't lie to them, right? And people can't, you know, make them believe bullshit. So I just wanted to share that.
Also, this is a good book by Annabella. It's the Sheroes of the Haitian Revolution. This is a very good book. It talks about the women who fought in the revolution. So this is a very good book.
And there's a lot of them.
Very easy reading.
I love it. We're pulling out the books.
And the by Annabella book, can I tell you, that book is for adults and for children. So that's a great
yes. Easy reading.
Book. Yep.
So who else would like to share what you are planning on doing for the rest of your day today? Gracie, we want to invite Graciela, or we want to thank Graciela. She's all the way in the Dominican Republic, coming and listening to us.
Greetings.
In the DR right now. She was excited to come on and jump on and to listen to us. And so we just want to shout Graciela out.
Yeah, this has been such a wonderful treat. I'm just sitting here so grateful to like receive all of this, like just power and knowledge. I'm all about soaking up knowledge and giving back however I can. So I'll definitely be supporting your restaurant dreams, and also taking a look at that book, that Freedom Soup book. I'm here in DR. Everybody that's passing by is like, what are you doing? Because I woke up late and I just hopped onto this call. So as soon as I hang up, I'm gonna go out and tell them what I was doing and let them know. I'm sure they know, but I'll let them know again. It's Haitian Independence Day, and see if we can get some soup. I'm gonna ask, like, are we friends with any Haitian brothers and sisters around here? Because I'm trying to get some soup.
Yes, you know there's some in the island somewhere. But
yeah, there's definitely some neighbors here. So
on Independence Day or New Year's.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What do you guys do in Dominican Republic on New Year's?
On New Year's, we really, I mean, I don't know about everybody, but in my family, we celebrate the New Year's Eve more. So last night we had a big dinner. We were all just hanging out with the family in the yard, making jokes, looking at the moon it was a full moon 2 days ago, so it was still pretty bright yesterday. That was really nice. Fireworks, telling stories. And then today I hear everybody is outside continuing the stories and eating leftovers. So I'm not sure if there are any specific traditions that we have here. I'll have to investigate, but my family is really big on like storytelling and joke telling, like just so many jokes, some which are funny, some which are not, but you know, you laugh along anyways.
Nice.
How's the weather there?
It's actually pretty chilly right now. I was like, oh, okay, I need a sweater. It's actually pretty chilly because it's been raining. So it's like windy and kind of like cool, but it's not bad. I mean, if y'all are in New York right now, that's cold. So I'm not complaining. I'm just taking in the palm trees. My favorite part about coming to the island is just like looking at the palm trees. Like I just like looking at them. I don't live here. I'm right now I'm based in New York, but I was born here, and I sorry guys, you can hear who are screaming. I try to come and visit whenever I have the opportunity to, and due to the quarantine, I'm working online now, so I figured let me just come over here, spend some time, reacquaint myself with my culture and my family, and see what I can learn and what I can add. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, so thank you guys for walking us through that. I learned about this soup like maybe 4 years ago in college because I took a class on Haiti and Dominican history, and it was really cool because I went to school in a really like white neighborhood or a white college town, but everybody in the class was Haitian or Dominican. Like everybody in that class was either Haitian or Dominican. And it was just wonderful, like just listening to people's experience as we were like relearning like this history together. And then some of the Haitian folks shared about their traditions with the freedom soup. So it's cool to like be reacquainted with the history, but through other people's perspectives, and like connected to the different movements that are going on. I'll mute myself again. Thank you guys.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. We love that you were in a class of, you know, Dominican and Haitian people. Yes, learning our history together. That's such a beautiful thing. That's beautiful. Thank you for that affirmation. Yeah, we need more of that. And let's say the tradition next year for you is gonna be making some Soup Joumou in DR.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm gonna be like, all right, guys.
Yeah, you want to go next year? You're gonna be inviting people over to have some Soup Joumou, right?
I
Instead
know.
of you'll be making some. Yeah.
But I was listening to your story, Claribel, and it's true. I feel like we have all of these traditions, and we just don't have. There's such that people are so committed to dividing us and to separating us that like we don't even recognize that it's one history, you know?
Right.
Yes.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And so that's why we are here. to be reminded, to remember, because there's so many people who it's so empowering. Like we're not the victim. It's so empowering what you're saying. We're not the victim. Yes, our stories are grounded, that we have to remember these stories. We have to tell these stories. We have to pass these stories on. Yeah, because otherwise, you know, you forget, and because there are many people, we know that we have family Haitian people who have forgotten what Soup Joumou is as well, right? So that custom, that culture, we have to constantly be speaking it into existence, because there are those that will forget. So it's important.
Yep.
It's important. So thank you. Would anybody else like to share what they're going to be doing for the rest of the day? as we are about to close out, and we want to again thank Joanne and Anthony for sharing of yourself and sharing of your recipe, and for that beautiful soup that we keep seeing, and we're like, we wish you were here in Bed-Stuy. Oh no. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soup. Anyone else would like to share what you're planning on doing with the rest of your day? How you're bringing in this January 1st?
Michael?
Yeah, Michael, you want to share? Or Regine, Marie, James?
Regine, let's talk about your book for 2 minutes. Your book, Regine, your book, your coloring book.
Oh, James.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say thank you for all of you that have put this together. It was beautiful, magical, continue in the spirit. Anthony and Joanne, miss you all. I think today is going to be a day of reflection and recommitment. And the coloring book that you mentioned, Anthony, is a testament to love. And this month is a month that holds also the history of the earthquake. And so the intention was to really remind us that who we are, that we haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten our sorrows and our joys. And so for me, just to be in that space of reflection, I wish all of you the best prosperity, wealth, laughter, joy, good health, magic. Always stay in your magic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Regine. James or Michael?
Yes. Hi, this is James. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your stories. It's been really wonderful listening to the history. My wife is Haitian, so I want to make sure my children are able to know about these as well. And for today, besides Soup Joumou, I'm trying to make a chocolat Haitian or chocolat pays from grinding. Yes, to share with friends, to be able to grinding the beans and forming the ball to pass to friends.
Nice.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
No, that's like a sweet treat. That sounds really nice.
Ooh, that sounds like another event.
The other, it's funny because that chocolate that you're using, James, my dad is a big fan of us making, like making hot chocolate with it, with all the different spices. So that's another holiday thing that my dad, would do when we were young. So it's nice to see you sort of, making your own tradition around that.
Yes, thank you. I love working with food and growing plants and gardening. So I was able to find some. Oh, say again?
Where are you located?
Boston.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was able to get some Haitian chocolate beans to roast and to make. So I want to share.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say thank you all very much. I learned a lot. We're not able to make soup like this in our small apartment, in our really tiny kitchen. But Claravel, thanks for the invitation. And I learned a whole lot more about why the soup is eaten on January 1st.
Yes.
When I traveled to Haiti, I think it was 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. My plan was to be there for New Year's so I could drink this soup. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But when I return, I will hopefully be there on New Year's, so I'll be able to eat the soup. Thank you.
And where are you located?
Oh, I live in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to quite a few. I've been to a few Haitian cultural events, and I wound up writing my dissertation on a comparison between the histories of Haiti and Ireland, focusing on revolutions. And since then, I've been published twice in the Human Prospect. One article I wrote based upon my dissertation, and the most recent one is on slavery reparations. Of course, those two themes are very much related. And I have got some other things that I'm working on that might be along the theme of slavery and memory, which, of course, anytime slavery and memory are discussed, Haiti is an immediate area of study, because most people don't know what the second Western nation was. People usually can figure out what the first one was, but the second one, many people in North America can't figure out what it is. And I'm thankful for two courses that I took. The first was a history of Puerto Rico class I took at Rutgers, in which I was introduced to the fact that while certainly not militarily, the soon to be formerly enslaved in Saint Domingue defeated essentially three nations to attain independence. And then and that was Professor Jose Morales, who last I heard was teaching at New Jersey City University. And then when I was pursuing my doctorate, Professor Christine Keneally, who currently runs the Great Hunger Institute at Quinnipiac, she taught a revolutions class, and I was giving her a ride from her college housing to the class. She was primarily discussing European revolutions and 1848, but she was sure to include the Haitian Revolution in that class, because no matter how one defines a revolution, the Haitian Revolution was successful by any regard. Other revolutions, even the United States, the 13 colonies, that is still debated as to what extent it was successful, because the people who were in power before retained the power afterwards. But that's not true about Haiti. That'll be it for me. I apologize if I'm rambling. Okay,
no,
thank you.
Good.
We love it. We are thankful that you are dropping these gems. And over here, we're like, we have so much discussion that we must have. We must bring this to light.
And Michael, I have to say, admit, like, it's amazing how a conversation around soup can like really take us in all these, be so deep. And
Haitian talk soup.
It's
Haitian talk soup. This is Haitian talk soup.
This is Haitian talk soup. I love that. And my niece, who traveled from Connecticut with her fiance, I need to get her some soup. So luckily, I made a pot. So I want to honor the rest of I want to honor everyone who showed up and who participated. I just want to say thank y'all so much. But we also want to honor your day and the balance of time you want to spend with your families and all that good stuff.
But before we go, is there anyone else that would like to share as well what you would like to do? There's Marie and Rosaline just dropped in. We're so thankful that you dropped in. How did you know that we were still going to be on?
Those are my sisters.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so great when folks show up.
Yeah, we were so happy. It's like, if we were able to, we would be dropping off at other people's houses the whole day, right? So I guess this is in some respect the essence of that, dropping in on people's homes and seeing, what's going on. That is so cool. We are so blessed. This event has really just lit us up all over again, being connected in this way, and really kind of, giving us life again. Sometimes you get so caught up in the day-to-day of things and the grind, and 2020 has been such a spectacular year. We're going to use that language. It's been such a spectacular year inside of the heartaches and the blessings all at once. It really has been that year, the heartaches and the blessing. And it's just like, And for us, I guess the word that comes up is grief, right? You know, we know that grief is just an animation. I don't know if that's the correct word, but grief is really when we grieve is just because of how much we love. Oh my God. You know, and whatever the aspect of your creating, and if it doesn't show up in a particular way, you grieve because you love it so much. You love that human being so much. You love what you were doing so much, and grief shows up. And for us, 2020 has been that. It's been grief because it's mired inside of, you know, what we love and what we aspire to. And this has kind of like moved us to being like, to just love, to just express that love and to be thankful for that love. So we want to thank each and every one of you. We want to thank you for showing up and being here and participating. We want to thank you so much, Joanne and Anthony, for showing your love.
Thank you.
And we're just so grateful for each and every one of you. And we shall be seeing you soon. That's what we're going to be creating. We're seeing you soon.
Yes.
Another event, another iteration. And we just want to thank you. We want to thank you. We are honored that you have joined us today. And we'll see you soon. We'll see you very, very soon.
Yes.
Bye. Happy New Year. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day.
Bye, everybody.
Happy New Year.